Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. JOTA, and today we will be talking about four different names in Real Madrid for four different reasons. The first one, and the good news actually, is from David Alaba. I'm going to share with you all a quick update because this is very important. Last night, everybody was expecting to know what was going to happen to David Alaba because, as you know, during the last game against Sheriff Tiraspol, the player had to be replaced because he felt something in the left knee, and we didn't even know what happened, but it looked really bad because every time a player has something in the knee or something like that, and actually Carlo Ancelotti, right after the game, he unveiled the player had a sprain and stuff. Everybody was expecting for him to be out of the squad for so long, just because everybody was thinking, oh no, my God, this guy will have a super bad injury or something like that. So everybody was expecting the worst case scenario, right? Okay, let me tell you what, very good news. After all the medical reports and tests and stuff, apparently with scans and that he has had, apparently the player doesn't have a big deal. And apparently, although he has a knee sprain, the good news is it doesn't affect the ligament, which is good because that means the player might be out of the squad for just 1 or 2 games. That's it. I mean, he only needs some rest. He only needs to be out of the squad for maybe 10 to 12 or even 15 days. That's it. And that is very good because, as you know, with the calendar and the hand, if you look at the games we have to play over the next, I would say, 30 days, it's going to be very difficult as of the next week. This Sunday, we are playing against Sevilla, which is, of course, a very important game, but it's not as difficult as the next 2 or 3 games. For example, we are playing against Inter de Milan, and in my opinion, although this is not as relevant as the one against Sheriff Tiraspol, because we were playing and fighting for the qualification. Of course, it's very important for us just because we have to try to be the first one in the group of the UEFA Champions League. We have to try to top the standings because that way we can dodge a little bit teams like Bayern Munich and other super difficult rivals, right? So it is important for us to top the standings, just to have a much nicer, better, smoother or softer qualification or next round in the UEFA Champions League when it comes to different rivals, right? And the next one against Real Sociedad next weekend, it is very important because, as you know, Real Sociedad is the other super serious competitor for La Liga this year, and the next one is against Atletico de Madrid, which is the other contender for this La Liga, for this season in La Liga. So right now, to me, there are 3 games, very important games that David Alaba has to be able to make it, because we really need this player, because it is not only what he's providing to Real Madrid defensive-wise, but also attacking-wise. When he goes up, he pushes up, and he has a chance to score. He normally scores. He has a lot of goals. So my opinion is he has to be there. So he might be resting maybe against Sevilla, and even maybe against Inter de Milan. So let's see what happens. But the good news is that, I mean, he doesn't have big deal. It's just an injury. That's it. Maybe 10 days of rest, and that's it. And now let's move on and let's talk about another player that made the news last night, because in El Larguero in Spain, they said something really interesting about Isco Alarcon. So the thing is, they said there are 2 big clubs super interested in signing Isco Alarcon for the next season. Problem is, the reports they are getting from Real Madrid, and of course all the news and media and papers and all the articles that they've been writing for so long about this Alarcon are so bad, are so poor, and talk about the lack of professionalism of the player that they are hesitating about to go ahead and sign the player for the next season. I mean, this is pretty obvious. You don't need any kind of report. If you read the news, if you read articles every single day like I do, I mean, you will know Isco is not anymore the super top-notch professional player he was supposed to be. This guy is over since the days of Solari, because Solari was the one who advised him directly and who advised everybody else about his attitude, his poor choices, his bad attitude, and he was completely out of shape. And the problem with that is he didn't even have the intention to reverse the situation with himself. I mean, he never tried to become another kind of player and improve significantly in different aspects or something like that. He is like he is, and that's it. It's like, okay, come as you are. Okay, Isco Alarcón is that kind of player. He's magic. I mean, he has magic in his feet, but the problem is his attitude when it comes to training, workouts and practices and all the stuff. It is so poor that nobody wants to hire him now. I mean, for Real Madrid, it's not a problem, because if you think about it, his contract will expire next June 2022. So the question for us, or the thing for us, is just to let him go, and that's it. We don't have to be worried about, okay, what can we do with this player? Okay, who we offer this player to get rid of him right quick. It's not a problem for us anymore, because this is the last year contract. The thing is, what does he want to do with himself? You know what I'm saying? If he wants to keep playing soccer, then he should change a little bit his attitude in order for him to find the right team or another team that really wants to give him another opportunity or something like that. So I don't know what is going to happen, honestly. And honestly, I don't really care about this player anymore, because he has proved everybody he really doesn't care about himself, right? So that's it. I mean, the news is pretty much these two big clubs, who in my opinion are Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid, are getting very bad reports, very poor feedback from Real Madrid when it comes to Isco Alarcón. So let's see what happens. And then let's move on and let's talk about the words from Emmanuel Petit. Emmanuel Petit, the former world champion with France, said Newcastle is ready to go and ready to pay a lot of money for Kylian Mbappe. So in his opinion, Newcastle still have chances to sign Kylian Mbappe for the next year. Let me tell you what, as long as the player wants to play in Real Madrid, there's no chance for any other team in the world to sign Kylian Mbappe, just because if the player is super strongly convinced he wants to play for Real Madrid, there's nothing they can do about that. I mean, PSG has thrown on the table a lot of money to renew his contract, and so far what Mbappe has done is to refuse every single offer to renew his contract with Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, there's no reason, there's no point in going now and change his mind and say, okay, I'm going to play for Newcastle, when you have another team who has thrown millions and millions and millions on the table for you to renew your contract, and you have said no. So if there's only one reason why you are refusing all this money from Paris Saint-Germain, is because you want to play in a specific team, and that specific team is Real Madrid. So to me, even being true that Newcastle has, resources enough to pay a lot of money and to offer a lot of stuff to Kylian Mbappe for playing for them next year, my opinion is, if the guy wants to play for Real Madrid, it is gotta be impossible for them to change his mind and make him, think otherwise. Because if he wants to play for Real Madrid, he will play for Real Madrid, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So my opinion is that the player is super determined to play in Real Madrid, and neither Newcastle or PSG or whoever it is has nothing to do with Kylian Mbappe next year. And let me tell you let me move on and talk about the most important news today, which is about Erling Haaland, just because Mario Cortegana from Goal claims Erling Haaland has already picked his team for the next year, and that team is Real Madrid. I don't know where his information is coming from, but Mario Cortegana is a very reliable source of information, is a very reliable journalist, and my opinion is if he says so, it is because he knows something that we don't know. And of course, if he says Erling Haaland has already picked to Real Madrid, it is because he's very convinced about the project. He likes Real Madrid and how Real Madrid is working. I mean, not only in the project, in the team, and the players and stuff, but also in Santiago Bernabeu and more other stuff, how the club is managed by Florentino Perez, and all the bunch of things that really convince to a player to play in some specific team. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm guessing is Mario Cortegana is saying the truth, and that is, I mean, to me, makes a lot of sense to hear that Erling Haaland has chosen to Real Madrid to play the next year. And it is not only that, it is also because, as you know, this week, Borussia Dortmund has been eliminated from the Champions League, so he doesn't have a real chance to fight for the Champions League as long as he stays in Borussia Dortmund, just because Borussia Dortmund is not the kind of team who will be fighting for the top positions in Bundesliga or even the top positions in Champions League. So to me, it makes a lot of sense to think that Erling Haaland might prefer to Real Madrid over any other option that he has in hand. So let's see what happened, guys. This is pretty much what I had for y'all guys today. Now enjoy the day, and of course, see you in the next video.